So this is the start of our unit on opinion and persuasion. So in this instance, you're going to look at this in advertising. Over the next week, we'll look at the use of language to persuade in advertising, in articles, and then you will look at how to use language yourselves so that you can present your opinion on an issue that you choose. So I'm going to go through this worksheet. This worksheet is simply an introduction that can be done either with or without your teacher, depending on whether your teacher is in class or not for the day. So the first question is, what is a slogan? And I'm going to help you out here by suggesting that one of the things that you can do with question 1 is go to a dictionary and look up the word slogan. Many of you will already know what this word means and what this is. I'm simply not going to tell you here because otherwise I've told you the answer. However, if you look at question 2, which I will read out now, you might get the answer for question 1. So question 2 says, make a list of 5 advertising slogans that you know of, with the company of the slogan. So for the example is Just Do It by the Nike company. So you've got to think of 5 other slogans that represent a company. These slogans work to persuade us because everybody knows them. It's something that becomes subconscious and ingrained in who we are. So I would stop the video now and I would answer question 1 and 2. Okay. Assuming that you've now started the video again, let's move on to question 3. You need to find an ad which you think is effective because it uses emotion or facts, logic, or reasoning, or even both effectively. This asks you to save a digital copy or a photograph of the ad. So what I do is just simply take a screenshot of the ad that you're going to decide to use. You need to hand in, it says a hard copy of the print ad with an explanation. This means that you need to tell us how you think the ad uses either or both facts, logic, reasoning, or emotion to persuade us, that is, to get us or to make us want to buy the product or change our behavior. Now, at the bottom of this sheet, there are some examples of these ads that you can't use, but it's an example of the work that you should do. Okay, so I'm not going to go all the way down to the bottom of the handout now, but you can, because there is a handout, there is a copy of this handout on Moodle without this video. So you can look at the video and you can go to the handout at the same time. Again, I would stop this and I would now spend the next, you've got to find one ad, I'd be saying 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes doing question 3. Okay. Then I would start the video again and I would do question 4, which won't take you as long because this is about you. So make a list of 5 to 10 unhealthy things that you think that teenagers do. Well, you're a teenager, so have a critical look at what you do and what your friends do, and think about 5 to 10 things that you think you might do that might be physically unhealthy or emotionally unhealthy behaviors. So I will just give you one example. It might be that you've stopped doing any physical activity. Okay? So there's something that could be physically unhealthy, but also we know that physical activity makes us emotionally happy. It releases endorphins in our brains. So it could actually go to both of those sides if you've stopped doing it. Okay. So once you've done that, and that really should take you, one thing per minute really, and you should be able to then start the video again. So stop the video, quickly answer question 4, and then let's move on to question 5. So question 5 says, choose one of the behaviors from your list and create an ad. Now this is not allowed to be a film or TV ad. So basically it's got to be a still ad. It's got to be something that could be used in a poster or in a magazine, say, which aims to change one of the behaviors that you listed for question 4. So choose one of the behaviors you listed for question 4, then create an ad that's going to change that behavior. And the example below is that it could appear on billboards, magazines, Facebook. Now, I know that ads in Facebook can be moving and can be videos, but you are not to do a film or a video ad. So therefore, it needs to be a still ad. It needs a slogan, and it needs to use facts, logic, reasoning, or emotion to make the reader or the viewer of your ad feel happiness, sadness, fear, anger, sympathy, guilt, etc., etc. Your ad may use drawn or digital images. So if you're really good at drawing on your iPad, or you want to pull an image, just remember that if you're using digital images and they're not original, you need to make sure that you source, that is, take a copy of the URL so that you are not plagiarizing. Then 6, as well as creating your ad, you must explain the ad that you created and how it uses emotions or facts to persuade the viewer to change their behavior. There are examples of explanations under the World Vision ad and a much more detailed explanation under the Aussie Farmers ad. So these are the next 2 sheets. So I would strongly recommend that you have a look at these examples, and that this is where you are copying your, modeling your work on. So if we look at these, here's the ad for the World Vision ad. So this ad from World Vision appeals to the emotions of the viewer, trying to persuade the viewer to feel sympathy for the children who work as slaves in some countries. The slogan, "No child should ever be for sale," and the picture of the price tag on the child are both intended to appeal to our emotions, to make us feel sympathy. We are also expected to feel guilt for not helping by donating to charities like World Vision. So there's a lot going on in this ad, and there is no doubt that we are meant to feel pretty bad living in the country that we live in if we don't do something to help children in these sort of situations. All ads seek to persuade us, and they seek to position us to feel something. So think about what you might feel. The second ad here is your chance to have a go at writing the short paragraph like the paragraph above. So this says, "Stop climate change before it changes you." It's an ad from the World Wildlife Foundation. And the question here is, how does the ad want to make you feel about climate change? Should we be scared of climate change looking at this? Should we be worried that evolution might change us so that we have to adapt to, I don't know, living underwater is a suggestion because it looks like a fish's head because of rising sea levels? How are we meant to feel about that? So have a think about that ad, and then think about how you feel from it. And then I'm not going to read the last one out because it's quite long, but this is the explanation, and it's moving to analysis because it's so long. So if you are looking to extend your work, then this is the example of an extension here. So again, you can go and you can read this yourself, and you try and write one of these longer extended pieces about your own paragraph. So hopefully this video has helped you, and what it should allow you to do now is work through the video by stopping and starting and making sure that that you understand the work. If you need any additional help, please ask your teacher.